So today we have Sahil. Let's understand what his maths behind his restaurant. Sahil, welcome you to the show.
Hi.
Hi. So I would like to ask you first and the foremost question. Can you explain us what's your journey and why you want to start, or rather why you felt like you should start with a cafe?
So this journey, despite my cafe turning 10 months now, but
Oh, wow.
the plan behind my cafe was since last 3 years. But we didn't want to just open a cafe. We wanted to plan it and open it. So the journey behind the scenes for my cafe will be me working, let's say 12-hour shifts in a corporate company.
Yeah.
But back of the mind, I wanted to do something for myself rather than for someone else's business. Yeah, that is what pushed me for the cafe. So we need capital.
Yes.
First of all, we need a plan, which is the most important thing if you're opening a business.
Yes.
So businesses just don't give you money or a profit share from the first day itself.
True.
It will take years, but then the patience that you need to earn something out of it is way long. So yeah, and the food line, that is the cafe that I opened. Why cafe is whenever I used to go to restaurants and everything with my family.
Yeah.
So the ambience and the let's say the service that was provided was always something like approaching me towards the नहीं अगर कुछ करना है तो I want to do it in a cafe or a food line.
There was an instinct.
Yes, there was an instant connection that got me into taking interest in the food line. That is what pushed me for the food line business.
So what inspired you for this business, specifically after working for corporates almost as when we
5
were
years.
Yeah,
5 years.
So
I
what's
worked
the
for.
story?
So basically, what I studied or understood from other let's say friends also who were working with me in the corporates, they were like, we started with the business, we failed, and we came back to the corporate life because obviously you need money.
Yes.
So and what I learned from them is I studied first what were the reasons why they were shut. So 3 years was not just planning for the financial side, but it was also for what was actually needed by the customers.
Okay.
So
that's very important to understand customers.
Definitely. So the most important part when you open a cafe or a restaurant site is you start with a backup. Most of the cafes or let's say the food joints get shut within 6 months is because they don't have a backup plan, or let's say the backup for capital side. The capital side of backup is the most important thing, because that just does not includes your money side, but the plan for your menu changes, the plan according to your customer needs, the area what it demands. So I have a pure veg joint.
Yes.
There is a reason behind it because I studied the area. There are major percentage of Gujaratis and Marwadis who would never believe in me even if I say that I am using a different let's say cooking in different utensils or anything. They won't come to me. So that is the study behind. If you are planning something, it takes a long time, but then the fruit is very sweet.
Yeah. So at the end, hard work pays you off first.
Yes. The hard work before opening the cafe pays you off when you are already settled and started.
So what was your first experience, when the first customer walked into your cafe? What was that feeling?
That feeling, I cannot express it because it was a couple. And those customers, I can never forget their face, what they ate. I can still remember what they ordered, and I was so nervous because the first thing they ordered was salad. And I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen my chef
preparing a salad.
Even though he knows, I trust him to my life now. But at that time, when I started, I was like, oh my goodness, how will be the first bite response? How will be everything after the bite is gone inside? I was just like, I cannot stare at the customer, but then I was looking at the customer's response, like how it would be, and like, but touch wood, it was awesome. And at that moment, I realized ki, theek hai, nervousness was low, like coming down. And me also starting with this after, like I started with Jet Airways, so I had a customer service background, and I knew ki how to approach a customer, how to be friendly with him or whoever they are together with. So I asked them for a genuine response, and they gave it, and that is what like told me in my mind ki theek hai, chalega, ab chalega. The response is good, and the first few weeks was very difficult. I'll be very I'll be bluntly honest. The first week was very difficult because even if you open a cafe, it's just not you serving the food. It's totally studying ki what will be the volume that will be coming to you. What will be the storage of food you need. In my cafe, I make sure wastage is 0%. That can only be avoided if you study the area and study, you know ki it's a Tuesday, what stock I should have. And that was very difficult for the first 1 or 2 weeks, let's say. After that, I got a hold of it. I made mistakes, but then that only
helped me
to learn and understand basically this is what I need to order. And even like starting days though, I had customers my timings are 12 to 12, but then I had customers and for the customers also it was new that they also didn't had any idea ki it is till 12 o'clock. People were coming at 12 o'clock, so I had to extend till 12:31, and I am like, I forgot to order the whatever is needed for tomorrow. So it was a challenge at that moment.
So you mentioned, Sahil, about the volume. So in your cafe currently, how many people can sit and enjoy the meals?
Okay, so currently the max capacity of my cafe, if I go with the seat, just with the seats, the sofa seats and the side seats, it's 23 people.
Oh, wow.
It's 23 people, 12 inside and the rest outside.
Okay.
So, but then if it depends on the customer to customer, sofas can accommodate 3 at a time.
Okay.
But then if you want to sit comfortably, it can take 2 people very comfortably. So that varies. I had people managing for us, wherein Saturday, Sundays, a crowd, a crowdy, let's say a group of 10 people only come. I have to join the sofa and everything because I don't have that much space to accommodate 10 people ka group and then more customers coming to me at the moment. So I have seen 6 to 7 people like managing for me in one seat only. Just one chair I have to give them and they manage for me.
So they're happy to stay.
They just want to sit and eat. They just want the vibes. That's very important for the customers. So the maximum seating capacity is 23 seats as per the seats.
Okay. And how do you decide, like, how many seats should be there inside the cafe? What is the logic and the mathematics behind it?
So it depends on the area, to be honest. So there are a few cafes that show their kitchen, and so they have a space to accommodate as per the seats, but then we planned on something else. We didn't want to show the kitchen, and then we had a wall over here. So it totally depends on the inside seating capacity, the area basically.
Okay.
So my sister is an interior designer who helped us through all the square feet and everything, what can be accommodated or not.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you decide only suburbs? Why not any other place?
So I'll be honest, cafes and restaurants. Restaurants, I think people prefer going and eating fast and then leave the place. So that next cafes is something that where people sit for many hours. They just come for the vibe. That's very important for them.
Absolutely.
So suburbs, why? Because me selecting this area was because of the spending capacity of people. That is very important. That is very important for you to understand from the area that I come from.
Yeah.
It's a good area, posh area, but still people won't prefer a cafe. They would prefer a Chinese stall, eat and leave.
Okay.
That's the mentality and the perception of people where area is located.
Okay.
So for us, for me, I am not biased towards a community, let's say Gujaratis, to be honest. But when we started, we had in mind wherein this is Kandivali Tagore complex.
Yes.
We know this, mostly people are migrated over here. There's a government quarters over here. We studied the area first. This is not something wherein, hey, chalo, acha jagah mil gaya, we took the place and everything. Most of the days they are out eating, in the crave for eating something, let's say, spicy or food. But then when we opened, there's no other cafe over here.
Oh, so
there's no competition. Yeah. It's kind of a monopoly over here, wherein people, if people want a cafe vibe, they don't have to go somewhere else because they have only one cafe over here. But then there are a few other customers who just don't look for money. They just look for the vibe, place, and the quality of the food that they are eating. So that is what plays a major role for selecting suburbs. People migrate to Mumbai from other cities mostly, and migrating people are mostly working. Kaam karke khatam ho gaya, then they come home like tired. Let's order something from Zomato. Let's order something from Swiggy. So this is what the perception is. So we have to go as per the perception of the area, to be honest.
So why just the cafe? Why you never thought of opening a cloud kitchen?
To be honest, no. Cloud kitchen was not something that I was planning on. I wanted to interact with people. That's the major difference if you go for the cloud kitchen and a restaurant like this. Because cloud kitchen is just you get the orders, you prepare it and you give it to the delivery boy and done. But then the satisfaction that you get when your customers are eating and they praise, see their faces, and they praise from their soul. Ki baba, this food has touched our soul and this is love. That keeps you motivated. Cloud kitchens is just basis on the reviews. But then the reviews percentage is very less. If you order, let's say 200 orders are gone, you barely receive 10 or 15 reviews from the customers. But then this is something that you get live feedback then and there from the customers, so that you can improve your side of whatever you lacked, whatever you did best is what makes a major difference for me. As per me, the cloud kitchen is differentiated by this thought process.
So don't you think that if a restaurant is in demand, it will also help the owners or to business to grow? So what you think about if there is a more demand for the restaurants than
the cafe side?
Yeah.
So I knew it I still get suggestions from the customers wherein you should add sizzlers, you should add this, you should add that, you should provide Indian food also. So I came with a motto wherein I want a few like I also loved going to cafes. So from what I wanted at that time, so it's what you learn from your mistakes or someone else's mistakes, right? So whenever I used to go to cafes, I wanted to see wherein what is the service they are providing, what is the actual vibe, what type of people come to the cafe, and what type of people come to the restaurant. I know restaurant is a quick money, but then I'm not here for money, just the money. Money is an important role, plays an important role, but then I am in this business just not for money. I am in for emotions, everything else.
So, since we are talking about the emotions and the money, so I would like to ask you, what about the sales that you did in the first quarter of your opening of the cafe? So, what was that experience and what kind of a learnings you had from that?
Yes, definitely. I'll add up to it. Wherein when we started, as I said, we had a limited menu. We for beverages, let's say I had only coffees and the food. The categories were, let's say, 5 or 6 categories of food and 1 category of a beverage, that is coffee. So when we started, we planned on this purposely because we want to understand this area requires tea or not. This area demands for cold coffee or not. Milkshakes, let's say, Sprite or whatever the beverages side of it. The food that they are demanding, is it feasible for us to add or not? So, as you mentioned, the first quarter sales and the next quarter sales, it was a humongous change because we made changes to our menu. As per the first quarter, we had let's say 50-60 items in our menu. The next quarter we had more than 100 items.
Oh wow!
From the suggestions that we got for in all the 3 months, I used to make a note of each and every thing that I got from the customers. So that is what helped me surely helped us. Clearly showed us the math wherein the 3 months ka sale was good, was growing every month, but the next 3 month ka sale, after making changes to certain suggestions of the customers that were feasible for us to add, made a humongous difference.
And what was the percentage of this? If you could
let's say 100%. 100% of change in the next quarter.
Wow.
Yes. The next quarter was our first goal that we had in our mind for the sale, and it touched the quarter.
Yes. So each month there was a lot of progress that you and your team had.
And it is still growing.
Yes, that's really good, right?
Thank you, sir.
So how did you decide on your menu?
I studied wherein what can be the cuisine where we can start with. So Italian and Mexican was something, and continental was something in our mind, and we were like, we want a cafe. Cafes don't serve food as per my understanding, and I don't want to change the theme. There are many fusion cafes and everything that serves whatnot. I don't know which a cafe needs or not, but then I never wanted to change from the theme of a cafe. As I said, I like to go to the cafes and understand basically what they are selling on. It is just accumulated knowledge that I entered into my menu, and we sat together. We had a brainstorming sessions wherein should we add this or not? Should we if we add this to our menu, will there be a demand before starting? After the menu changes were just basis on the suggestions of the customers, but then before starting also the menu was decided all accumulated knowledge from the experiences that we had.
That's really amazing. Thank you. Even nowadays the menu development is also playing an important role for the cafe's success. So did you face any sort of a challenges while designing the menu, or after launching your cafe, what kind of a changes you thought of making in the menu?
Yeah, so designing and all was covered because we had a designer hired for our and it was in the family only. Yeah. So we had interior designers in the family. We had the graphic designers in the family. That helped us a lot. That helped us a lot, honestly. But then that's just not the case for everyone. But designing and all was purely, as I said, accumulated. The name, the design, the menu, numbers of items that should be in the menu, how the font should be in the menu. So from what we understand, on a personal level, I get bored when I go to a restaurant and I have to scroll through a book of food. I don't think people need that many varieties of food that they are serving. I'm not blaming anyone else, but then it's just that I put my shoe in a customer mindset, and we set this menu wherein this should be there. Is this required? Will this be demanded or not? That is how we decided on the number of menus and the menu management, as you said. And the menu marketing, that is, if you see in many reels nowadays, they promote this key. Menu marketing is very important. It plays a major role. It plays a major role because as a customer, I get bored for a book opening and everything. That's why we had set our menu to a limited things. Kam kamayenge but acha kamayenge. That is the motto.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, you have done the research, and after that you guys have prepared a menu. So which are which sort of a cuisine or the dishes are more demanded by the customers?
So mostly the customers ask for soups, then sizzlers, let's say. Also to add a few more varieties to the milkshakes, or let's say beverage side of our menu. But then we will also come together and we will definitely add a few things, but then not everything can be added because sizzlers won't be possible in a cafe.
So how are the prices of these items have been derived?
Yes, so as I said, from the market research side of us, naturally now, before starting, I personal level work. It was a lot of work, to be honest. Taking an area, let's say this is Kandivali East, taking cafes from Kandivali East, collating their menu in an Excel sheet, and the dishes they serve, and the dishes that we are gonna serve, and deciding challenging price to it was the journey. And it took a week for me to research every possible cafe menu from let's say Zomato or let's say Google, if they have uploaded the menu or not, from the nearby areas, and understanding what they are selling, for how much they are selling, and what will be their margin cost, what are they earning. As a market research fellow, I know what are they earning behind a particular dish. So what do we actually need? So that plays a very important role. So for the area, whenever people from the area come for me, like they eat, they see the menu, they see the prices, they check the prices. After eating, if they're friendly with me, they have a friendly nature and everything, they ask, do you own this place, or what are the things, what boosted you? All the corporate fellows, 90% of the corporate fellows want to open their business. No one is ready to take the risk. So that is what where people are stopped from opening their own business. As I said in the beginning, that I had something in my mind wherein मैं दूसरों के लिए क्यों घिसूं इतना? I can, I will put my efforts for something of myself rather than for making someone else's business grow.
And what is the margin on food and how much should it be?
So when you decide a menu, there are many factors that are involved, wherein the prices. Let's say I have more than 100 items in my menu, but then every item has its own food cost. The food cost is involved, the labor cost, the electricity cost, the rent, the salary, everything is involved behind a particular dish. And then you decide your margin, and that is the final outcome of the rate that you decide in the menu. And that is how we have also planned. We have never changed the menu prices, but then people have come and asked me, "Aapko kaise parwad raha hai?"
So, is there any sort of a change that you have seen, or have you seen any sort of a demand wherein people are coming to the cafe and people are just ordering through Swiggy or Zomato?
Okay, so when we the first, as I said, the first quarter, it was just the learning phase for us, wherein what is needed, what should be added, how it should be added, how softly and swiftly the changes should be made, so that the people who came to us in the 3 months don't come to us and say, "Arey, ye kya ho gaya? Pura kaya palat ho gaya." So you have to keep all these things in your mind, and you have to make the changes as per that. So the growth side of my cafe, from what we have understood, is the taste is never changed.
Okay.
The taste is never changed, despite the person is coming for the, let's say, 100th time to us. The food that they order is the same that they ordered the first time when they came. That is very important, and for that we have our SOPs written. So whoever is good have a basic cooking skills can provide the same thing that we are providing to the customers. But then that SOP is a secret.
So that's your secret masala.
Yes.
I can say. So how
Maggie has never revealed the sauce ingredients or whatever, how the sauce is made, is just it should be for every cafe or a restaurant who plans on growing.
True.
Because if I sell something, let's say pasta over here, and that is just amazing here, and if I have an outlet somewhere else and that is totally opposite, will it make sense? No, right? The taste should be constant everywhere. So this is where SOPs play a very important role.
So that's really an important learning for all those who are planning to start their own cafe or a restaurant. Thank you for sharing such a valuable tip. So, Sahil, my another question to you is, how much benefit have you got, or have you seen, that you are getting some sort of a benefit with Swiggy and Zomato?
It is different from cafe to cafe, area to area. So, for me, Swiggy plays a very less role. Let's say it's slow over there. But Zomato is playing a somewhat role.
Major role, you can see.
Not a major role, because my cafe, I can clearly say after 10 months, my cafe runs on dine-in. Clearly.
Okay.
The walk-ins that come to us. And that is the pure money. Not the commission money and that we have to give to Zomato. My major focus, our major focus was always for the dine-in, and that is what has worked for us. That is what has kept us in the game for 10 months now, and many more to come. Zomato, Swiggy plays a role, but not a major role.
Okay.
That should be a secondary aspect, wherein you have to, obviously you get an order, you have to serve it, but then your major focus when you brainstorm for your cafe or how to grow should be the dine-in side of it. My vision is they should come at least 3 to 4 times in a week. That's the aim. I am not getting a one-time business from that particular customer. I want a lifetime business from that customer, and that should be the aim of each and every cafe or a restaurant, let's say. So that is where major role, as I said, the first time and the 100th time the customer is eating the same quality of the food, the same. The vibes can be different. Let's say today I played a slow song for them. but then the next time they had a party kind
party
of
zone,
a
yes.
party zone. So that is up to you and you understanding the customer basically. If you get a young crowd, you know what to play. If you are getting a let's say family crowd, you know what to play. I cannot play the songs that I play in front of the Gen Z crowd, the Gen Z crowd.
Yeah. The Gen Z, yes. So have you seen any particular, sort of a favorability that this Gen Z crowd is giving towards food?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is that?
I'm not blaming the generation, but then more than eating, they are focused on photographs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, more than eating. So that's why that also helps us to motivate my chefs for presentation.
True.
Okay, I need any crowd. As I said,
Yes.
10 साल का बच्चा, 15 years old
True.
teen, let's say 40-year-old couple coming to us. Presentation is very important because nowadays, so I cannot discriminate between just Gen Z.
Yes.
Nowadays, old couples are more into selfies and everything.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I cannot discriminate wherein just the Gen Z crowd. Even the millennials are photo frenzy. Let's say a couple comes, boyfriend is not interested in photographs, but then the girlfriend won't let him eat before taking a photograph. That is what I have seen.
Yeah.
I cannot judge them. It's up to, that's why I have learned from that I focused on presentation of the food.
Great observation, I would say.
Thank you.
What is your production margin if you look at the space, material, and all the transactions that are happening on a daily basis in the cafe?
It's a very big misconception between the hotel line, to be honest, wherein margin 30% hai, 35% hota hai. After everything, after every cost, the margin is 30%, but then it is not 30%.
Reality is something
Reality
different.
is something else. As an owner, it includes a particular dish only. Let's say the mathematics behind a particular dish and setting up the price is way beyond than the reality that is shown. It is in terms of a percentage, if I let you know, it is just 8 to 7% of the profit margin.
Okay.
That is just 8 to 7% of profit margin because of all the external factors that come when you start a business. It is just not the food cost, it is just not the labor, it is just not the electricity, it is just not the let's say ambience, let's say the manpower. It also has external factors that include.
Okay, so it's a combination of everything
else. Profit margin is just this and not this.
Okay, so maybe it is being said or it has been shown in a humongous ways that if you open a restaurant in 2 months or 3 months you will start seeing the profit.
Also the reality, the people who show this, they have chains of cafe. So let's say 8%, 7 or 8% from one cafe, they have hundreds of cafes, which takes their percentage to a next level. It is added, right? From every cafe, if they are earning 8-7%, then it is this that is shown.
So multi-chain cafes can
multi-chain cafes can provide you what you aim for.
Okay.
So that is why planning is very important. If you are opening a cafe, it's just not कि मैंने एक खोल दिया, मैं इससे पैसा कमा रहा हूँ बस. You have to plan for the growth side.
The growth. So are you planning to open a next branch where it is going to be?
The next branch has been next 4 branches have been already planned before starting the first one.
Oh wow.
Yes, that should be your aim.
Yes.
The first 4 branches should be your own.
Yeah.
And then if the 4 branches are blooming, you then start with the franchisee model, whatever you plan on.
Yes. Then the chains, we would be able to see change.
Yes. So the first branch is always, let's say I am not married. Before even getting married, I have a son.
Yes.
Which is this cafe, which is the base to my brand, let's say Bistro and
True. So what are the 3 things that entrepreneurs should keep in mind before entering into this business?
There are many factors, but the three major things that an entrepreneur should keep in mind before starting a cafe business, to be particular, is first day or first year won't give them money, but then patience is something plays a very, very important role before during the whole journey of your cafe. And the second point is start with a backup of, let's say, minimum of 3 years. Don't start a cafe if you don't have a backup for 3 years, because this plays a major role for your for my first point.
True.
Wherein you are seeing that you are not earning for the first year, you are not earning, your money is just going from your pockets, not the cafe or the food that you're selling. But then eventually, after a point, it will start playing its role. So it is just how you raise a child. Okay.
Yeah.
From the first day, you are not expected from your child to walk.
True.
You train the child. You work with. You have sleepless nights. You have everything accumulated, and you have to work hard towards it.
True.
So this is how the cafe, also the business side
Yes.
of it, works. You have to. You will have sleepless nights. You will have stress ki kal kya hoga. But then have a perception of one thing. One day you get, let's say, no customers, but one day you got so many customers that you don't have time to breathe.
Yes.
Let's say your lunch is happening in the during the dinner time, and I have had these days. So the starting days were like, यार कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, मैं तो टाइम पास ही कर रहा हूँ. But then after a point, it was like मेरे को खाना खाने ही नहीं मिल रहा है. But when you have good days, are you cribbing in your mind कि यार मेरे को इतना क्यों business मिल रहा है? तो when you have bad days, why do you crib कि मेरे को क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है? It will happen gradually. So that is the patience that is needed, and that is the thought process you should have when you start a cafe business. You won't get customers from the first day itself. There will be days where you are demotivated,
Yes.
but just by your thought only.
Yeah.
You are only demotivating yourself. You don't need anyone else to get demotivated for what you have worked so hard and everything. But eventually, gradually, when you start seeing customers, that is the fruit that is very sweet and won't cause diabetes. Don't worry. It will just cure everything.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Sahil, for giving your valuable time to us. It means a lot to us, and I'm sure all our viewers have learned something of the new from your interview. Thank you
I
so
am
much.
grateful if many people see this video, and even one person applies this before starting into or entering into cafe business. I would be grateful. And I thank you so much for the opportunity. And thank you.